Good evening. Welcome to another episode, Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, and I'm down here at UPTV on a Saturday morning getting ready to tape this program. I thank the Lord for everybody that's tuned in to me today. I thank everybody for last month's segment with Pastor DeVita Bernard. Great job, Pastor. I really appreciate everything that you do. This segment, I been thinking about it all week and been trying to put it together all week. I thank the Lord for being able to just have an opportunity to be in front of this camera one more time. The things that we're going to talk about on today's segment is don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. And I think that's a great topic on today about not being distracted. We are in a society right now where you can just get distracted just by the smallest of things. And so as we look at all the things that's going on in society, everything that's going on social media, whether if it's the television, CNN News, so many different things are going on throughout society, so when we look at being distracted, and so I came up with, downloaded some things this morning about distraction. And let's go with Google's definition for distractions. Anything that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else, at a diversion, a recreation. And so diversion, when I look at diversion, deflected, it's almost like covert, making you think about something else when you're supposed to be thinking about something else, keeping your focus, taking your focus all off, in this society, in this culture that we're in, so many things are designed to distract you, to throw you off, throw you straight off your course. Man, make you not focus, make you not zoom in on the things that you need to be zoomed in on. On this past week, we've seen a lot of things happen, with what was going on, whether it's nationally, if you look at the NFL, if you look at what's going on with Colin Kaepernick, and the kneeling, whether kneeling versus standing, whether to recognize the national anthem or not recognize it, whether to disrespect or not disrespect, so many different things are there to throw you off, And so I always say it's all about your motives and what are your motives, Pierre. What's deep in your heart. Me serving in the military, it plays a special role with me when it comes down to the topic of a national anthem or standing or kneeling. I remember just being at a service that I just did, and we did it for a service member of this particular gentleman. He served in not only the Army, but he retired from the Air Force. And, he gave his dedication to the country and very sincere and retired within it. And so in giving that service, saluting to that flag, and I'm standing out there at the National Cemetery, saluting to that flag because it's deep embedded into me because just like this soldier that was just killed, Sergeant Johnson, over in Niger, he gave up the ultimate sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice. Not too many of us have put up the ultimate sacrifice for anything, putting our lives on the line for anything, and he did. And so, but the distraction piece of it is when the president played his role into it, and made his comments, and then he made his comments to the widow. The distraction piece, when the senator, she heard it and then she regurgitated what she heard. The distraction piece, the main thing, the eye on the ball is, to me, what are you dedicated to? What are you dedicated to? He's gone, his life is gone, his family have to deal and have to put the pieces all back together. But how many of us there to help him put the pieces back together? Put the pieces back together. How many people out there helping people put the pieces back together? Once death and destruction and legacies developed and life is over with as they knew it at that appointed time within this life, now continue for that family to move forward. I haven't seen anybody reaching out, this young man, he's getting buried today. How many of those people pause their day to be at that service? I want to look at it this evening and see how many people from a national level, a national leadership level, took the time out to fly into Florida to go show some great dignity and respect to this young man. I remember, and I talked to a lot of my vet guys in the community and just spoke one the other day, and we talked about when we were in a position and we were about to deploy and go overseas, and we didn't know where we were going to go. And the fright that was amongst us, the fear of young people, not knowing where we were going to go. I mean, that was so horrific for us, I mean, I remember when I was in basic training and we the drill sergeant said, "How many of you guys are in this join the military because you love your country?" And we all looked around, and I'm looking around, I'm spooked, and I'm looking around, and nobody raised their hand. But then he said, "How many of you guys in here for the GI Bill?" Most of the room raised their hand. And how many of you guys came here because you just didn't have anything else to do? That was me. That was me. I had to raise my hand because I wasn't looking forward to going to college. I knew I didn't want to be here, getting caught up here in Champaign. And I know the environment that I was in was distracting me. The people around me, the places that I was going to, it wasn't helping me further grow. So I felt as though it was a distraction, and that's what it be sometimes. So when I was sitting in that room with those other soldiers and they're developing and we're developing to find out what's our next steps. See, and what happens is that a lot of times we're not focused. We don't know our purpose. A lot of us don't know what we want to do. And that becomes a distraction when we don't know what we want to do. No purpose. We stop moving. We just stop completely moving. It's hard for the devil to hit a moving object. So when you focus and you do find out what your purpose is, what's your plan? What's your plan of action? You know what your purpose is. You got a plan of action. You start moving. Well, be looking for the devil to start messing with you. Because as soon as you come up with a focus and a purpose and a plan, there's some things going to happen. It's a lot of things going to happen that you didn't account for. But being grounded and being focused, because you got to be committed. You got to be committed. And whatever you do, be committed at it. Like these soldiers I was talking about. Committed. It's committed. Not enough of us committed. Commitment means you willing to throw it all in. I'm all in. When I do a lot of this stuff for the community, and when we go to these meetings and things of that nature, and sometimes I might, have to say charge it to my head but not to my heart, in some of these meetings, because I'm going to come out what's in me, because I'm from Champaign. I remember, Oscars. I remember when Eisner's was down. I remember Richards. I was just telling some guys, we was kind of, joking with each other back and forth, and we kind of Jones on each other, what we say. But I was telling them about Gold Blacks and Ventures, And when you have a history like that in this community, and then you start doing community work, you're sort of committed, opposed to somebody just coming in because of the fact that, man, I was in a national search for a position, and you seen that it was just a good paying job and a career, and you just want to be here just for a brief moment to get the money and run. Well, then you maybe made some bad decisions when you were, it was on your watch. And then you just bounced and left us to deal with the pieces, the broken pieces, like this family. Now people got to deal with the broken pieces, and now we got to put the program back together. So when you committed, you try to make the best decisions for the people that you serve. And so when I look at it being distracted, when it, somebody asked me something crazy on Facebook. Nah, I don't know where to get that. But when you stay committed and you're dedicated, man, you got to always stay focused, because just like that, somebody on the TV program on this Facebook right here got you all thrown off focused. But I zoom right back in because I'm committed. When I start preparing for this program, or I talk to Jason on the phone, I say, hey, look, what's the good time for it? Committed, being dedicated to doing this here every time to bring you guys some positive information. Every time I get on this here television program every Sunday night because I want to be and inspire a community that I love so much, a nation that I love so much. But we got so many people trying to throw us off the rail, distractions. When I look at the things that throw us off, and some of the things that throw us off, I wrote down a few. And I wrote it off of the top of my head and some of the things that I know, some of the guys and the struggles that some of the guys and ladies that I know that are getting thrown off, whether if it's a television program, your best television program, because when you come up with your purpose, then you got to be following your purpose and you got to be following your gift and your dream and your, what your why is. But these are some of the things that I wrote down that might throw you off. I know a lot of buddies, they are Toys R Us, and I was just watching something on social media where it was a long line because a new PlayStation game came out. But it's a lot of grown guys buying these PlayStation games because kids can't afford no $300 or $400 unless they're forcing their parents into, because these parents buying these games too. But a lot of my buddies, man, they was Madden, the new Madden, NFL, CNN. Some of us so dedicated and we so focused in on church, but we ain't focused in on being church. Wrote down jealousy. With jealousy, we drinking, playing, partying, and then so many different things that got us so messed up. And so I'm kind of reading through this here, that break us down and break our doubts and break our confidence down. So we start doubting ourselves. We start stressing. That becomes to be jealous, of other folks. We start doing a lot of those different other things, But when we start to have a purpose and we start to have some type of forward movement, start to have some movement within your life. Some type of movement, man. Because the murk gonna hold you down. The murk will hold you down. I was looking at a bunch of statistics earlier, just trying to, brainstorm about statistics, and I always talk about people that just done threw in the towel, and I'll say, a lot of us break down, well, we just done gave up, man. Just done threw the towel in, then gave up. Just didn't stop trying anymore, And I was looking at a statistic where it said 4.7 million Americans done stopped looking for a job. Done stopped looking for a job. We don't even want a job no more. They done turned me down. It's because of my felony. My past gonna dictate my future. We done start shooting ourselves in the foot. I'd never be anything. You done start playing into what they saying. All about what they saying gonna be about for our life. You can't fall into the trap. You can't fall into the trap of what they saying. It's all about, it's all about what you saying. It ain't even about what they saying about you. It's about what you saying about yourself. I love it. I love it when these guys are so dedicated and they pouring in the mentorship programs and they're able to pour into somebody else, some other young person, all the things that they've learned along the way. And that's what it's all about, giving back. So that another young person don't have to grow up and be distracted. Because a lot of us are just, a reflection of what we done went through. Just a reflection of what we went through. And a lot of us been taught just bad habits. We superstitious, bad, just a whole bad, chemical makeup of a recipe of a bad storm that's just been blanketed our life of what our outcome gonna be. So we stuck. We won't try nothing new. We won't read nothing new. We don't want to, and I say stuck. I say the word stuck, and I say that real tough, because a lot of us stuck. We stuck into a deadbeat job. We stuck into a deadbeat relationship. We just stuck. We don't want to try nothing new because we get comfortable where we're at. We get really comfortable. We get really, really comfortable. And I'm telling you, man, in order to have something the others don't have, you got to be willing to do something that they don't do. You know, this Saturday morning while everybody else getting ready for this Illini game and all this other stuff, you know, how many of you out there working on your purpose, working on your gift, working on your trade? You know, I was thinking earlier this morning, man, I had a young brother. You know, everybody had done gave up on the brother. Brother probably had done gave up on himself. You know, he was big time drug dealer around the town, you know. And so, oh, he ain't never be this, he'll never be that. You know, he ended up going to prison. But when he got back out, another brother that had went to prison, he started a business. And they working skills, trades. They working the skills. Gave this brother an opportunity. Man, this brother, he came over to my house and fixed an air conditioner. But the guy know what he doing. And the Bible talks about your gift will make room for you. You know, see, because everybody was trying to do the drug thing and all this here, and that's what the media wanted us to believe, and that's what, you know, everybody across the nation, man, you got to get this money, you got to get this here and this and that. So we fell into that trap. But he never did understand that his gift was working with heating and cooling until he went through a little something. But a lot of us scared to go through a little something. The fear of just going through a little something, a little heartache, a little pain, and then reaching back down deep inside and be able to grasp onto your gift. Then that make room for you. So now the guy done tapped into it. Now he's so happy. I run into him all the time during lunch breaks and stuff. He's so happy and he bringing others with him. He ain't just shut the door down for himself. He did what the guy did for him. He provided an opportunity for somebody else. And that's what it's all about. So don't get so distracted about what's happening at a national level that you ain't even focused in on what's happening around your door, around on your porch, what's happening within your own family. You know, how can we make our stuff better right there in the house, right there on my block, right there on my block. And I always, in this point right here, you know, because I was talking to my nephew, and I'm telling him, nephew, man, we'd put a lot of work in the community, man. We'd have put a lot of work in the community. And I said, nephew, it's time we gotta, you know, because a lot of these men and women, you know, people do what they want to do. I'm just a firm believer on that, because I done put a lot of community work in, and I see what folks do. People do what they want to do, man. You want to get it together, you get it together. If you don't want to get it together, you won't get it together. Can't nobody make you. We could take you to the water, but we can't make you drink. So if it's a program out there, we set a lot of programs up throughout the community, you know, whether we was on the different committee or, you know, we was from afar supporting, you know, but there's a lot of things, there's a lot of programs out there. But, you know, people do what they want to do. And I told my nephew, come on, man, we got to work on ourselves, man, and our legacy and our dreams, our aspirations, you know, because people watch your action steps, too. It's what you doing. It's hard for you to tell some young person something and you ain't on nothing. It's hard for you. What I'm listening to you for? You study telling me about prosperity and all this other stuff, and we can't even pay the bills around here. I mean, it's hard for me to talk about something that I ain't been through. You got to be able to went through a little something, you know? And so to be able to give somebody a testimony, and too many of us holding our testimonies back, man. We ain't telling nobody because we don't like what we seen. We don't like our past. We don't like that mirror, that reflection that we had back in the day. Tell that back in the day experience. Don't be afraid of that experience that you can't tell nobody, you can't share nothing with nobody. Be able to share that experience with somebody so that it helps somebody. You know, I appreciate my brother, my brother Joe, you know, because my brother Joe, you know, he always would grab me. Bam, grab me. Hey, man, look, dig. This is what you need to be doing. You know, wouldn't let me fall through the cracks. Too many of us watching folks fall right through the cracks. Watching folks run through the cracks. Just fall right through. We don't even say the bridge out. We don't say the bridge out. Man, don't go that route. And we're seeing it happen daily, on a daily basis. We're seeing it happen on a daily basis. Whether you turn on CNN, whether if you do your email, you look at Yahoo Mail and Yahoo News, you know. I mean, you got all kinds of different things happening. All kinds of different things happening. I was just in Decatur the other day, last Saturday. Got in the neighborhood, didn't even know this was a neighborhood where a 2-year-old got killed by his uncle. Playing cops and robbers with a gun he said he found. Don't even know enough about a weapon. You killed your family. Then broke a whole family up now. Because, you're going to have some people to say, man, forgive him. Some people ain't going to do the forgiveness thing. It's going to take some people some time to cut the young man's future out. Man, we live in a tough society, man. But you got to always remember, and I will say this on this program every time, the devil here to kill, steal, and destroy, man. Throw you off, distract you, divert you from what your ultimate purpose is. What your ultimate purpose is. And I was writing something down earlier, and I was saying, where have you been? Why are you here? And where are you going? And I'm going to repeat that. Where have you been? Where have you been? Look in the mirror. Do a mirror check. Where have you been? Think about all the stuff you done went through. The challenges. But then think about all the victories you done had too. Because people try to diminish your victories. They try to hold you to the past. But building up all that positive and that negative energy. And then finding out your purpose. Man, God, why you got me here? Man, I know you ain't got me here to be part of this 4.7 million people that don't even look for a job. Or 32 million people that I was just reading the other day that's on a part of the SNAP program and don't see no future in getting off it. So many different stats out there that's telling you, that's trying to dictate your future. And then once you do that, once you figure out all that, my purpose, how I'm going to get there? Where am I going? How I'm going to get there? I remember when I was trying to do a community program, and I was telling this minister, this local minister, this pastor, I said, man, pastor, I tell you, man, we need to, get out these four walls. We need to be doing some stuff, man. And, got this program I want to do. He said, bruh, Sean, that's what God put on your heart. God ain't told me that. That let me know right then, man. It's what my mama said. It's your neighbor and a dollar bill. You got to be able to focus in right back in on you. Don't put the blame, the excuses on nobody else, because everybody ain't going to see it the way you see it, man. Everybody ain't been through what you've been through. Everybody ain't, where have you been? Everybody ain't looking back on where have you been, or why you're here, or which direction you should go. So you got to build up your own stuff. That's why I'm so adamant about supporting your local businesses and your local stuff that's going on. I'm so adamant about that because I see the importance of that. But we can be so distracted that we care nothing about that until we need something local or we need a person local. Then we care about that type of stuff. Why we ain't got this or why we ain't got that. We ain't got nothing in Champaign. We ain't got nothing in Urbana. Well, you don't support anything in Champaign. You don't support anything in Urbana. Why we ain't got this type of program or that type of program? Why we ain't got this type of leader or that type of leader? You have to reach in deep inside of you and say, hey, look, this is what I want. This is what I need. And this is the direction I'm finna go. And don't be distracted. Man, tunnel vision all the way through. Until you can, see that thing fruition. So anytime we tried to do the Ballin' in the Hood tournament, we tried to do Brothers Let's Talk, Sisters Let's Talk, North End Breakfast Club, whatever thing it was, man, tunnel vision. Don't listen to the chatter. A lot of times people don't see nothing for you because they can't see it for themselves. Let me roll that back. Majority of the time, people can't see nothing for you because they can't see it for themselves. So they're going to shoot you down. Oh, you ain't got a degree. You don't speak well enough. You ain't got no money. They tell you a million reasons why you can't. They won't come up with one reason why you can and how you can. So a lot of times you can't listen to the chatter. But I tell you how you do, what you can do, is piggyback on some people that's already going in a direction. They got some full force ahead, some energy already moving into a direction. Grab onto them that's already rolling. Find out where they at in the community, which groups are moving, and attach yourself to some groups that's moving. My nephew told me, he said, Sean, when you become the sharpest person in your circle, it's time to change circles. And I was listening to my buddy, I was listening to one of my motivational speakers. He said, man, if you hang around 9 broke people, stay in that circle, you're going to be the 10th. You hang around 9 negative folks, stay in that circle, you're going to be the 10th. You stick around 9 people that's always gloom and doom. Man, did you see this? Man, did you hear that? Man, you heard what they said? Man, it's life in the end. Well, you might as well go ahead. You might as well go purchase a space out at one of the local cemeteries and put yourself on the shelf. Put yourself on the shelf. Just go ahead and cash them people out over there and say, hey, I'm almost ready. Because a lot of stuff that I listen to my motivational speakers and some of the things that I've been through and some of the things that I've learned along the way, a lot of us done gave up at such an early age, but we on the shelf waiting to get to Lincoln Cemetery, but we 23, and we ain't finna make it to Lincoln Cemetery till we 74. But along the way, during that 50-year time span, we holding people up. Man, I don't even know why you trying. You need to give up. You need to stop. Man, disconnect from folk like that. Bishop Gwynn will say, run. Man, you run around people like that, you got to bounce from them people so that you stay positive, you stay encouraged, you stay motivated, you stay away from distractions. Distracted people, man, become destructive people, ready to rip your life up. And I know if you were like me, you know, in my early years of trying to develop to a young man to figure which direction I wanted to go, man, I mean, my environment said a whole lot. You know, but people hold you back, you know, even on your, you know, my family. Oh, he one of them Williamses. You know, and they cut the branches off. One of my buddies, you know, he come from a big name family, you know, and I remember his story to me. He telling me a story. We sitting back chilling one night. He telling me a story. He said, man, I applied for a lot of jobs around here. You know, we're in a small net community. So, you know, your mouthpiece, putting your mouth on people, go a long way around in this community. Oh, man, he from that so-and-so family. When my buddy put the application in, and he go over there and they go over there and tell the guy, man, don't hire him. They family this and this and this and that. Never want to give a guy another chance or give their family another chance or an opportunity for change. Gossiping, shooting people in the foot. Motors ain't pure. Man, and I'm a firm believer of this right here. Just because you blow my candle out, don't mean yours gonna get brighter because you blew mine out. Roll that back. Just because you running around here trying to blow my candle out, it don't mean your candle gonna be a whole lot brighter. Stop trying to blow people candle out. I done went off script because I'm gonna go what's on the heart. Man, stop blowing people candle out around here. Putting your mouth on people, man, and stop, instead of seeing them grow. I mean, because our young people, they can only go off what they see. They going off what they see. We don't see no vibrancy. We don't see nothing thriving. You know, we don't see a whole lot of entrepreneurs in the community. We don't see a lot of togetherness where communities coming together, organizations coming together. We're healing people throughout the community. Lives are getting better. We don't see a bulk of that. We start to get discouraged. we start to get distracted. You know, I'm a part of a program, and I'm gonna go on record and say it. I'm a part of a program, Fresh Start, with Dante Lotz, Tracy Parsons, a whole bunch of city leaders, you know, city officials. And I was just talking to Dante on yesterday, and I'm like, how the program going, bro? You know, and a lot of these guys are getting discouraged. Some of the most violent guys throughout our community, man, that we vowed to help. But when you take something away from them, you encouraging them, get away from those people, places, and things. If not, your life gonna end up here. Okay. So they say, hey, look, I'm gonna go on faith. I'm gonna trust y'all. You got community guys I know, I recognize, I respect, that's telling me this thing. Respect, all right. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go with this step that you're trying to take me to. I'm gonna take, you know, okay, you take me to the water, I'm gonna try to drink. But then we don't offer them any resources. You know, how can I get my driver's license back so I can feel good about myself? How can I get me a job that I can go back and I can tell my mom, and I can go back and I can tell my girlfriend or my fiance or my future wife that I'm finna turn the corner. These people really, really help me, you know? But when they still holding on, man, you got a felony. You had a gun in your background. I know people, we got this expungement program going on today. And I've had people blowing my phone up about this expungement program. Big shouts out to you, to the circus clerk's office for putting it together. Carol Ammons, Aaron Ammons, them put it together. Pastor Grogan, them put it together last year. Big shouts out to you over at Stone Creek for letting them utilize your facilities to try to help somebody turn the corner, give them hope, some further forward movement in their lives. Because that's all people looking for, man. Give me just a little bit, but try to sponge some of this stuff. But through this program, man, I'm really looking at, man, well, how much does it take for us to go over to one of these business owners that own these mega factories and businesses around here and say, hey, look, we got a guy, we got a young lady. She's been through the life skills program. You know, we taught her how to get back on the right track. We've taught him how to get back on the right track. We want you to give him a chance. How much does it take to do that? But like I told Dante, it just gave me a flashback to one day when I was talking to Brother A-Dub. And I said, A-Dub, I said, man, the leadership. He said, Sean, you the leader. So, Brother Dante, I'll say that to me and you, man. We see the problem. We in the trenches, man. We see the problem. We might have that meeting ourselves with some of these business owners, some of these business leaders. You know, man, give these guys a chance. Give these young ladies a chance. You shouldn't have to move out of this community to get no opportunity. We got one of the best universities on earth. We got one of the best universities on earth. Most educated people on earth right here in this community. Right here in this community, in our backyard. Shouldn't have to leave this community at all. I shouldn't have to pack up a U-Haul and move down to Atlanta and think I'm finna get to the land of the milk and honey. Milk and honey right here. But we so distracted at whatever level that we at that we can't see the forest for the trees. We like the children of Israel. We walking in circles. Walking in circles. And milk and honey right over there. Prosperity right over there. The stuff right over there. The things we need right over there. I remember a lot of times I was looking for my blessing, right? I'm looking for my blessing, I'm looking for my blessing, I'm looking for my blessing. But we want to dress up what our blessing gonna look like. Who it's gonna come from? We already got a race down. We got the height down. We got it's gonna be a man or a woman. You know, we done dressed it up, but what our blessing gonna look like? Who gonna bring it to us? And man, it's been so many times that I was sitting in my shop or somebody come to me with some information or somebody come to me with a blessing. And it was nobody who I thought. Nobody in my immediate circle. somebody from a whole nother race that was the messenger. That was the person that hand delivered it to me. Never thought it'd come from that direction. Never thought. Man, the thing is, man, be a blessing out there to somebody. Be a blessing. You don't harbor it all to yourself. Or once you get an opportunity, you get into that blessing, that nice place, and then you close the door or you pull the ladder up so nobody else can come up the ladder. Man, our community need us, man. Our families need us. I remember going to, and I talked to you guys about it on a different segment. I remember going to Lincoln Correctional Facility and talking to them young men. And I just talked to somebody that's in Lincoln Correctional Facility right now. And this had to have been like maybe a year or so ago, me and Hub went over there. But inspired them young men, so, man, motivated them young guys. Man, with them guys, he said, Sean, man, they still talking about you down here, man. Because even in your rough place, man, you can still have some hope, man. You can still dream. One day, give me one more shot. One day, give me one more shot. Give me one more shot, man. Give me one more opportunity. Give me one more shot. A lot of times man, he messed me around. I ain't getting him another shot. He did wrong. Oh, no more opportunities, no more shots. And then when somebody give you a shot, take it. Take it. Make them proud of it, man. When they give you that opportunity, make somebody proud about that opportunity that they gave to you. Make them proud. I always say, man, when you from Champaign, and I know a lot of people say, oh, little old Champaign, man, come on. It's only little if you see yourself to be little. I think we got one of the best communities that's in this nation. I think we got some of the best people that's in this nation, right here. And I done been all across this country. Now, do I believe we lacking a lot of things personally? Yeah, I believe that. A lot of things we got to work on. But I believe that we inhabit right here within this community some good folk. And that just ain't on, that breaks every racial division that's out there. Got good folk right here. But we got to zoom in on it, you know? And so we got some good stuff right here in this community. Right here in this community. Right here in this community. You know? And being able to motivate some folks. You know, getting back to this NFL thing and the division and the nationalism that's going on throughout this community, you know, just to divide us. And before I close out, I want to, you know, hit that topic because I know it's a major topic that's going on, you know, with our current president, Donald Trump. And I was just explaining to somebody, you know, it's an unwritten rule, kinda, for presidents to be able to go out and speak against other presidents, you know, and so in order to cut back on anarchy and things of that nature, they won't speak about a current president, you know, and so I was just explaining to somebody the reason why past presidents don't go out and really speak against current presidents. But on this past week, historical moments, on two different occasions, but on the same day, you had President George W. Bush Jr. and you had President Barack Obama. Both speak against what's going on nationally. Now they didn't say the current president's name, but everybody knew the elephant in the room. And so the division that's evolving throughout this nation, as far as stuff that we thought we put to sleep, all the racism that's going on. Who we gonna blame for this? Who we gonna blame for that? And then they broke that down to the NFL players, Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, Still haven't been, still's not a quarterback in the NFL. After starting this national movement with NFL players kneeling and standing and NFL owners kneeling and standing and, you know, a lot of these guys throwing it all on the line. I'm looking at Don Lemons on CNN, you know, throwing it all on the line at night, you know, to make us aware so we stay focused and we're not distracted by other things and not on task to what's really happening. So they're throwing it all on the line. The ESPN female announcer, she throwing it all on the line. She done got suspended, and they checked her first, and then the second time she done got suspended for a 2-week suspension, trying to make everybody aware of how we could protest against injustice, you know, and things not going right. But, you know, the NFL, 70%, 73% African-American players. 80% of the people that watch it ain't African-American. 70%, 73% of NFL players African-American, coming from these inner cities, coming from these places where, you know, they see corruption, they see, you know, police abuse, stuff that's happening throughout their community. You know, most of the time when you get to your wealthy place, you don't even say nothing. You don't even talk about people no more. You don't even speak. You don't even use your voice to speak up, to use that as a podium. So I tip my hat to these men that's stepping out the box. But what I would say to these guys, more so, don't get distracted on whether you kneel or stand and all of that. Man, it'd be a better opportunity for you if we see your movements. Go back to your community. Blend in, put y'all money together. Go back to your community and make a difference throughout your communities. I think that'd be a better testimony. You go back and you put some facilities up for young folks. You get that money from them. You go back and you throw it back in your community. You put some stuff together for young folks. You put together something for seniors. You put something together that'll be recognized so they give folks some hope. You know, that's what I would suggest. That's what I would suggest. Because you got so many people that's building up so many different anxieties about the stuff that's going on nationally. Watching all this social media and all this murk that's happening, and, you know, the unemployment and beat downs because of your past and your felonies, and, you know, and I know the guys that I know that's been in prison, they always talk about the PEAL line. You know, the PEAL line was to deal with the guys that couldn't deal with being incarcerated, so they would take a pill and they'd be walking around as zombies, and most of them got so addicted to the stuff that when they got back out here, they wasn't the same guys anymore. And when I look at it, you know, opioid addiction and the things that's going on with all of that, you know. And then we watched the 60 Minutes, news presentation that was going on this past week about how it's been flooded around the country with all these pills and how these doctors been able to prescribe all these pills to people. Because we need a pill for everything. Oh, I can't sleep. Oh, I'm depressed. They'll start telling you, oh, I think it's anxiety or depression, you know, whatever the case is whatever's ailing you. Let me give you this here. We'll give you some Motrin, we'll give you some Xanax, we'll give you some this, we'll give you some that. And I see it on the regular. I'm doing, you know, insurance for folks, and, you know, what kind of medications you're on? Well, Sean, I'm on this, I'm on that. And I mean, we got 25 lines on a piece of paper. I got to flip the paper over. Man, the doctor got you on this many pills. And the pills ain't cheap. Oh, this is 300. Oh, this is 700. This is 800. 12-day supply, 15-day supply, 30-day supply. Why? We distracted, man. We distracted. We distracted. We distracted. We not even recognizing what's even going on, man. Not even zoomed in on what's really happening to us. We got to get back what the devil done took from us, man, and not get so distracted, man. You know, I really appreciate everybody that tune into this program every Sunday night. Hopefully I've said something that's been a help. to everybody that's viewing this program tonight. I appreciate you guys that see me throughout the week, that when I'm passing through, you say, man, keep up doing what you're doing, man. You're a big help to this community, man, because it's always encouraging for me to know that I'm helping somebody out there throughout our community. Man, get with our young folks, any mentoring programs that you can be a part of. If you can, don't wait for NAPIT Day to go visit the kids at the school. If you got young folks that's in school, then go over there and check on them people, man. So let's continue to work together. If you can be a part of any community groups, be a part of the community groups, your neighborhood watch programs. Get out and just do what you can do. Do what you can do, and that's all you can do is what you can do. Support your local businesses. Man, invest into local businesses. We need more local African-American businesses out there, and then you guys and you ladies, go out there and support those businesses, Stop shooting our businesses down throughout our own community, man. Watch where your dollars go. Watch where your dollars go. Because you can't reap a benefit that you ain't sold nothing into. You never sold into somebody's business, then how do you ask for something? How do you come to them and tell them that they should be doing this? Well, you never poured into it. I remember back in the day, my mom, she showed us how to grow a garden. And every now and then she'll tell me, she'll say, Sean, ride your bike down there and go get some tomatoes. Sean, ride down there, take this bag and give me some okra. Sean, look over there to the right and I got some cucumbers growing. Grab some cucumbers. Some onions. Well, see, we planted a garden so we can go out there and reap the benefits from it. But when you never help water some seeds, you never help the businesses, then when all of a sudden something happened, oh, it's a program that I need some support from. Then you go out there barking at these people, telling these people what we should be doing, and you don't even participate. You spend most of the time distracted. Sleep at the wheel until it come to your door. Till tragedy strike. We don't got a conscience for anybody else until it happens to us. Till something go wrong in our lives. Then you want everybody to freeze. In order for people to care about your issues, you got to care about their issues. And that's colorblind. That's colorblind. We had to care about what's going on in Champaign. And once we care about what's going on in Champaign, then it give us more gratitude to reach out. Say, hey man, I'll show you guys what we did in Champaign to help you guys in another community. But we got to have some empathy and some compassion for when something happens in Vegas, then you ought to have been sitting in the television and watching that just stuck in awe, because I was. It was a country western concert, and I like all music, but you would never probably catch me at a country western concert, keeping it 100 and real across the board, views and opinions of Sean Williams. But when I seen them people, man, them people are Americans on American soil. Man, human beings, because of mental illness. A guy gets psychotic, use an automatic weapon to just destroy people, man. Destroy people. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. But more so, you guys got a lot of work to do, because it takes each and every one of us to put in the work. Each and every one of us to put in the work. So do not neglect your responsibility or what you can bring to the table, even if it's a little bit. A little bit. Don't say, oh, I ain't got no $1 million. It don't take $1 million. Or I ain't really got no extra. It don't take but a little bit. And we might not even need no money. We just need your energy. We just need your support. We just need you to shh. Don't be gossiping. Stop people in their tracks when they get to pouring salt about somebody. Oh, hold on, we don't want to talk about people around here. That ain't what we do. No, we don't do none of that. hold people accountable. Oh no, man. We vowed that we was gonna do this. We committed. So, hey, look, there's some accountability today. We told these young folks we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Some accountability today. You know, and so put as much in it, because I'm like I told you, people do what they want to do. People put the energy in. You know, when I'm doing some of these times and we try to come up with a date for a particular service, you know, and then they say, well, so-and-so say he can't. Man, what? I done seen people do what they want to do. People take 2 or 3, 4 days off when they want to. People take, you can always tell what folks want to do because they put a little change, they throw a little change at it. People do what they want to do. And people do it for who they want to do it for. Make sure that that's called insurance too. When you've sowed enough seeds, you've been a blessing to other people. You've been just a good guy. You've been a good young lady. You've been a good person, you know. And then that's called character, integrity, morals, principles, values. So I sure appreciate everybody that tuned in to us every Sunday night. Watch this program. This concludes another episode of Let the Truth Be Told. Peace.